right, we started the show with all of the headlines that were very important to break down and we think you need to know. Now we want to end the show with some of the headlines that are just worth talking about. So Dimitri Kofinas joins us again. He's our producer. And then Shannon Donahoe in the control room. She cannot leave. She is too important there, but we want to hear her input nonetheless. So this is being reported by Business Insider. There's a story on that website. Deutsche Bank actually owns a casino. So here it is. And essentially, is this banks deciding that instead of just not acting like gamblers, they're actually going to gamble and buy casinos?
Well, I don't think they see the difference. You know, this is part of their core competencies. In fact, this may actually be an example of you seeing the bank saying, we're going to not just kind of go into what we feel competent, but we want to take the technology and the experience of the casino industry in behavioral economics and other things and just kind of ingest it into our business model and expand and kind of use these models for our clients and our depositors. So I think this is a good move for Deutsche Bank.
A good move for Deutsche Bank.
Right, I think they're moving in the right direction.
Dimitri, they got taxpayer money. They benefited $12 billion specifically from the bailout of AIG. So I'm footing the bill for the Cosmopolitan Casino.
Right, but you're thinking along the old lines of retail banking. That doesn't exist anymore.
I'm so passé.
Exactly. This is the future of banking, casino, banking, gamble the money away, leverage up. And I think that Deutsche Bank is doing what they can in this environment.
Shannon, what do you think? Good investment? I don't know.
I'll be ready to have my debit card now be at like a slot machine. That's what I'm preparing for.
But hopefully you can make some money back for the $5 debit card fee that B of A is going to start charging.
I know, exactly. All right, let's move on.
That's how the consumer can benefit in this Ponzi scheme. Just kidding, let's move on. All right, so last night, GOP debates. We saw them in Vegas, and we saw a lot of, I don't know, however you judge it, interesting, maybe enlightening, maybe ridiculous things come out of that. But one of the more interesting one-liners was Michelle Bachmann. Her brilliant idea is that the way that we can get money and to make up for this foreign aid that the U.S. gives people abroad, countries abroad, is to have the Iraqis pay us back for liberating them. She said this could also apply to Libya. Is this the new financial model for the U.S. government that's broke to repatriate some of the money?
I think it is. I mean, I think it's a great idea. Look, instead of us just invading and being the protector for all these indentured nations and freeing people, I think that
You're being sarcastic or serious?
I'm being sarcastic, but I think that the U.S. government has a good idea here. This is a great way to kind of generate a fee for the military. You know, if we're going to go into Iraq and we bomb you and we liberate your people, you should be paying us. And this is also a great revenue model for banks as well. They can get into syndicating loans for some of these contractors and then collateralizing that debt and selling it off in tranches to different investors. I mean, this could open up a whole new avenue.
Whole new revenue stream for the banks.
For the banks as well. This is a big one.
So for people that say the United States goes into these countries to open them up to corporations, this is a way that now Wall Street can cash in on that, get in on the action.
Also, absolutely. This is just another great
with
funding.
synthetic derivatives.
I think this is huge possible market for Wall Street banks. We could call them Liberty bonds, but instead of being the bonds for World War II or whatever, these are going to be Liberty bonds for the Middle East and North Africa.
Well, and the thing that's funny too is that the military-industrial complex, a lot of people say you can't wind that down. There's too much bureaucracy around it. If you're on the right, you don't want to cut defense spending. If you're on the left, you say there's so many challenges to doing so that military-industrial complex. Here's a way to capitalize on that.
So it's even more money for the 1%?
That's what it all boils down to, Shannon. You just gotta, get to understanding that.
Let's move it on.
All right, speaking of the 1%, what is the 99% to do? Well, is this a hint? Batman may film scenes from the new movie at Zuccotti Park. So is Batman the savior of the protesters? Is the villain in the next movie going to be Jamie Dimon?
That's right.
JP Morgan, is it going to be a banker?
It could be Jamie Dimon. It could be Lloyd Blankfein. It could be any one of these bankers. We haven't seen really a bank villain in the Batman series, and I think that this is an opportunity for Warner Brothers and DC to really kind of take advantage of that opportunity.
And you researched it. We haven't seen a banker villain. We're going to have to see if Batman can save the day and bring that to light. Villains usually kind of capture the common enemy.